This all is just not coming in. I forgot how to invite. Greetings, everybody coming in. What's up, bro? Go ahead and put this out. Peace, Yanni. Greetings, my God. I see, Circus. Okay, you're not sleeping tonight. Yeah, how y'all doing on this Friday? Now all my messages want to come through. Let me see. Thanks for my bro down. And sis. About to get while we do these get these downloads. And I got a feeling in my stomach, y'all. I'm gonna have to hit my sisters up and let y'all know. I don't know. Talk about it. Let everybody come on in, come on in, come on in. White Crow. Appreciate that, bro. You know how it is over here on this side. Trying to figure out what side to like. Peace, sis. Alright. Once I get this going, we going in. Just a couple things, just a couple topics I want to talk about. I didn't do my live last week because I had a bunch of downloads. But I'm going to break it down over, of course, the Fridays because I just can't do it all tonight. So we going to break it down. I must be lagging. They got to do something. Ooh. Alright. So tonight, we're going to chat about the yin-yang effect. I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar with the yin-yang symbol. You know, it has the black side, the white side, or the dark side, and the light. But it can go, the effect can go both ways, as in spiritual and physical. Okay. The effect can go spiritual and physical. And what I got last week, it was so many things that that goes into the yin-yang effect. Sometimes we only think about, just dark or light or low and high. But it has more to it than just that. For instance, the yin-yang effect is also a symbolism of the masculine and feminine energy. So, what side do you think is the feminine energy? Peace, bro. Peace. And what side would you think is the masculine? Now, if we all know we all came from darkness, so that should give you a hint of what is feminine and what is masculine. It also is a representation of the love and ego. Above and below. The highs, the lows. Oh, she getting in tune too. Getting these downloads too. Great elder. The yin yang effect is a representation of balance. Right, sis, the black side. I must be lagging, but it's alright. Y'all catch up with me. It also represents balance. When both sides are at an even standstill or, solid, that equals balance. It also represents outside, yes, purity. Outside and within. Everybody should know what's within and what's the outside. The within would be the pure darkness, which is, your universe, which is within yourself. The outside will be also a representation of light because you're birthed into this physical. And when you first come into this physical, you see the light into this realm. Even though it's not spiritual, but it's physical. Like I said, it symbolizes physical and spiritual. It also, go back to balance. So the opposite side of balance would be the illusion. So that would symbolize, the illusion and balance in the yin yang. You're either going to be in balance, which is rising above, or you're going to be stuck in the illusion. So it's just not, so much of dark and light. Now that is what symbolizes the yin-yang effect. Yes, birth into light. That's also, symbolized. It also symbolizes the dark and light in the yin-yang effect, which is, I'm trying to get my notes. Which is, in the experience. You're going to be in the dark. What we just said, you're going to be in the dark, or you're going to be in the light of yourself. When we know darkness doesn't mean anything bad spiritually, but physically it could be the egotistical side of it. Okay? It also is a representation of, we've been talking about this already, what I just said, your root chakra or elevation. This effect can go many ways. It doesn't have to be just a dark and white of things. Which, I mean, if you break it down, it is the dark and light of things. Put it like that. But it doesn't have to be symbolized as just one thing. This effect goes many ways in the aspects of this journey. Trapped or freed. You're either going to be trapped or freed. And right now we at the time of freeing ourselves. Just like in Michael's song, We Are the World. We have the decision to free ourselves, to save ourselves. So if you won't allow yourself to save yourself, you will be forever trapped until you're able to free yourself. Because no one's going to save you but you. Now I broke down the word freedom the other day. I don't know if some of y'all seen it, some of y'all might have did. But I broke down the word freedom, and we know free is actually just being free of, whether it's bondage, isolation, stuff like that. And then D is a symbol back in past lives and many other journeys when the words wasn't even a full word, wasn't even created. D is a representation of the. Hell, we still say that sometimes. Don't even realize it. OM means soul or within. So freedom is basically saving yourself. I mean, not saving yourself, freeing the soul. So stop. You can't allow yourself to be trapped. You can't allow yourself to be trapped. You have bondage, that's trapped. That's all a part of just being stuck in a situation in your journey instead of looking at it at a higher perspective. If you cannot balance your energies and you're leaning more onto the trap side, you're more in your lower self. You can't see the light, basically. You're not trying to, because you can see it if you want to. You're not trying to see the brighter things in your journey. Because sometimes you might be comfortable, and that's just where you want to be stuck at. And some people came into this experience, or some beings came into this experience just to be stuck. Because when they transitioned before, they was lost still. So coming back, they wrote to be stuck. Because some people have to be casualties in this thing. It doesn't take all of us to make this shift happen. So if you hear yourself and you hear the ring in your ear and your soul, you're connecting more with yourself, then you're pretty much a part of the shift that's going to happen. Not everybody is going to be a part of that shift. Even on the game chess, there's some casualties. Not everybody's going to be there at the end. Also, Yin-yang is a symbolism of the mind. The two parts of your mind. I've already talked about isolation and elevation. But also ego, that we just said, and your heart. We've been off balance. We've been off balance. A lot of us have came out of that unbalance and became balanced. So during this shift, you have to stay balanced. Everything is being thrown at you to take you off balance, which is a part of the experience, which is a part of the illusion, which is part of entrapment. But you should know now at this time, damn, this is just something that's just, If we know the experiences are real, so you should know what not to hold on to. And you should be moving forward. You should be already on that healing progress and seeing things in a better light. We are too far in the game to be stuck. But like I said, we're going to have some that's going to be stuck because that's what's going to bring back the balance in this realm. And when you have balance, you have love. Not everybody is going to be walking in love. Distractions and reactions, you're right. Not everybody is going to be walking in love. So don't beat yourself up if somebody doesn't see it. Don't beat yourself up if, you're trying to get your family to rise. Some of your family members ain't meant to go that way. They had already signed the deeds to stay in that spot that they wanted to stay in. Stop wasting your energy. Just keep your energy balanced. And when they decide that they want to go into a higher perspective of their self and into their higher self, then they will. Then they will. Not everybody's going to win in the game. So all you got to think about or focus on is self and those around you who are on the same frequency that's rising as well. You can't worry about those who are not on the frequency no more. That's just only going to keep you entrapped in some bullshit to argue or debate a motherfucker. Nope. You have to let some people go through their journey to themselves. Okay, so you got to stay balanced because this yin-yang effect goes so many ways. It goes so many ways. That's the main key into this illusion, in this experience. Right, sis? Let them go. When they decide that they want to come that way, they'll come. You can plant a seed, but you can't make it grow. No matter how many times you water it. If it doesn't want to grow, it's not going to grow. It just wants to stay in the ground and buried. So don't waste your energy on people or other beings who are already destined to be, stuck. Or as, we say, stuck. But they just playing their parts. Because everybody has a part. And everybody either going to rise, some people going to rise and some people are going to be where they need to be in the illusion. So we can't take this shit serious. Because when you take it serious, you step out of lane and you step pretty much out of your walk. I always say, don't let nobody throw off your energy. Don't ever let anybody alter your energy, including the illusion or the matrix. You want to call it this physical experience. Do not let it take you off.
1, 2, 3.
Will alter your energy.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I got to excuse him.
1, 2, 3.
But yeah. You can't let anyone alter your energy, including the experience. This is actually what our purpose is. This is actually what our purpose is. When you come in knowing that it's an experience. So you know it's going to be things that's going to keep you stuck in a situation that you're going to either keep repeating or you're going to rise above it. That's the effect that the yin yang has. Rise or be stuck. Stay in the dark or become or shine your light. Now, I'm going to take my time with this one right here, this next one. So I make sure I get everything out the way I needed to, because I just got it wrote here and there. It's not all, together. But I got a download also the other night about the seasons here in this realm. And like we've said before, everything is connected to you. You are the all. Now, I ain't talking about, we all, if you don't know, a lot of the holidays are connected to us as well. That's why we don't give a fuck about what people have to say about the holidays, because we already see it for what it is. Everything is based off energy. It's all about how you balance it out. So the 4 seasons that we know, hold on one second, y'all. Let me shut the door. Okay. The 4 seasons in this realm, as we know of, is, fall, winter, spring, and summer. It's all connected to us. It's all connected to us, especially the divine energy. I researched a little bit about the 'tis the season, because I kept getting that in a download. So I was curious to know, like, really what is 'tis the season. I keep hearing it. So obviously I'm gonna have to look it up and see what it is, because they'll guide me through some shit. Whether it's books or on Google, they will guide me to what I'm looking for, or what they trying to give me. If I can't get it, if I can't hear it completely or see it, they will guide me. See, they don't, every time you don't see a vision when you get a download, or you might not hear it. They might just guide you to it so you can get the vision. So I looked up 'tis the season, and 'tis actually is, meaning it is. And then, of course, the. And seasons is basically the energy. Because if you look it up, it's going to talk about fall, winter, spring, and summer. But that's the energy. Some things here in this experience is covered up behind the truth to keep you, to keep you stuck. That's the tricks here in the Matrix. So you're going to have to be able to see through all the bullshit and follow self. Self is not going to it's not going to stir you wrong. Stop second guessing yourself. But anyway, seasons is balance. After that, I'm going to go back to that part. I'm going to do that one last. But when they broke down the 4 seasons, fall, yeah. Fall is basically a representation of, when fall comes around, everybody tends to go in the home. They be at home a lot. It's almost, it's as we're hibernating. I want y'all to look at this on a spiritual level. Don't look at it physically. Look at it as the energy that it is. So we go into basically hibernation in the fall. And a lot of animals do too. And a lot of insects and a lot of, flowers. All of those go into hibernation. Hibernation is also isolation. And also the pregnancy of this plane right now that we're experiencing. We're in the pregnancy months. We're in the stages before love's birth, which is shifted into this plane. Okay? So we all go into fall. We're self-isolating. And during those self-isolating, you might be writing down things you want to change. Or you might begin to see things that, okay, I might want to do this next year. Or I want to work on this. So you contemplate, you conceive out your visions. You start to conceive them. Because when winter comes around, you start to elevate your visions. We all been, when winter come around, that's December, January, and February, okay? Every year, before New Year's, everybody have, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have a New Year resolution. Not even understanding that you're tapping into the visions of yourself that you wrote out. Because you had already conceived it in fall. That's putting everything, lining it up. So when winter comes around, you're elevating to this vision. So you feel it more. You know you want what you really want to do. Which is the tricky part on some people. Because a lot of people will talk about it, but they allow themselves to stay stuck in the shit. You can see your vision, but you would rather stay fucking stuck. Because you're too scared and sometimes a coward to move forward. You're allowing your own self to be trapped. Ain't nobody trapping you but you. And I know everybody see these visions. Because we see a lot of this New Year resolution every fucking year. Those are your visions. You're seeing what you're supposed to be moving to. So it's up to you to make the step. Because when spring comes, we know spring is birth. It's new. Creation. So you're supposed to be walking in that energy. You're supposed to be following out that script. You're supposed to let whatever happened to you in the past go. And that's every seasons we go through. Through all 4 seasons. Now summer, we lit it in a motherfucker. Every summer we're lit. Our light shines so fucking bright in the summer. Whew. It's at its highest point. A lot of shit happened too in the summer. Some people cannot even fathom the energy that they got going on within themselves. They can't balance it. So they do some stupid shit. Which allowed them to stay stuck even longer. But it's their script. It's no need for me to get mad. Sometimes it don't take you the first time, it don't take you the second time, but hell, damn near by the third time, you should know to move the fuck on. You should know what you want to do. Stop talking that shit and walk that shit. Our people talk too goddamn much. We don't walk. It's time to walk it. Now with the the 4 seasons, when the great elders come through, they break this shit down in science for me. I be mind blown sometimes. They try to keep me up all night. But the 4 seasons, I'm sorry. The 4 seasons are broke down. Which also is going to represent the pregnancy of this plane. There are 3 months in each season now. 3 months in each season. You got 3 months in fall, 3 months in winter, 3 months in spring, and 3 months in summer. 3 months, which is 12 steps, 12 levels in each elevation for you. Okay? Each season, you have 3 months in each one, which are part of the 12 steps that's supposed to help you to rise and go to the next level. Just like in a video game, you got you on one game stage 1, and that might have 4 or 5 other little stages up under that part of the game. Then you'll move to the next level. Same damn thing. Three stages. Also, which is those 3 months. It's just like in pregnancy. Nine months, 3 stages. Which sometimes they tell you be pregnant, but damn near almost a year. Same energy. What's working within you, what's happening within you, is connecting with everything, the all in this realm. So when this shift, you're supposed to be shifting too. But it's alright. You don't get it all the time. Sometimes you got to replace some boards before you move to the next level. But once you learn that lesson, don't allow yourself. Right. He did. He just said 1, 2, 3. He was just counting. So, okay. Let me get back to my notes. Now, it's one thing now. We all know that here physically, they display the solar system or the planets. Right, sis? 3 babies. We all know that nothing above us is real. That's just a holographic image of what's within you. Okay? The only connection that's really deep in this realm is only one thing above. And that's the North Star. They talk about it in the Bible as well. So when they showed me the North Star, I was like, hold up, what does this one star mean? It's the brightest star in this realm. Because I ain't going to say above my head. Because ain't nothing above me but itself. But what is this brightest star in the realm? It's the only brightest star. Well, they gave me the download of the brightest star. And it's a representation of elevation, which is also a part of the realm. Okay? the oneness, and your first eye. And your first eye. So that energy right there connects to you spiritually. Nothing else, the stars, the moon, the sun, the planets, the solar system. All that physical shit that they showed you in a fucking Roper Mount or museum. Not even a museum. What is it? It's a center. Up here we got Roper Mountain Science Center, so it's a science center. They show you how this plane works. Everybody don't went there. Might not be in my hometown, but it's one in every hometown. They show you that you're in a dome. When you go into that part of the science center, you're entering a fucking dome. Everything outside of you is inside of you. And like I said before, the only way you're going to get out of this motherfucker is when you want the transition. Okay? But the North Star is definitely a part of us. That's the representation of our first eye. Also, when I was talking to my sister, I was like, it kind of looked like a navel as well. To a stomach. So, if we know that the realm is full of divine feminine energy, or the universe, and then we know, for those who have seen Great Mother Sophia, it all connects to you. It all connects to you. Now I'm gonna drop this one right here, and then I'm gonna go to I'm gonna touch on that, and then we just gonna go with the flow. How about that? Now, going back to the yin-yang effect, I was also showed and given a breakdown of emotions. Emotions. The word emotions. So when I got the breakdown, the download of it, the E in emotions, because it's not what we think it is spiritually, of course, like I always say. They had to add some physical shit in front of the spiritual shit. That's a part of the illusion. But when you go deep into the rabbit hole, or you put on your shades, you see the truth. So emotions is broke down in with the E as energy. And you can look this up if you want to. I don't give a damn what you do. I'm just going to give it to you. And you do what you supposed to do with it. But E is a symbol for energy. The motion is just a representation of your energy motion. The motion of the energy. Okay? It can go up. It can go down. It can go in. It can go out. It can go forward. It can go backwards. That's the similarities of the yin-yang effect as well. That's a part of the yin-yang effect. That's the energy part of it. Your energy motion. Low energy, as we know, is the root chakra, your lower self. It's surrounded around fear, pain, control, trauma, heartache, heartbreak, even being sick, being prone to sicknesses and diseases and illnesses. Okay? Because when your energy is low, your immune system is low. That's in the suit. Because your suit connects to your true energy. That's what makes the suit move like it's supposed to. Okay? Yes, energy in motion. The higher frequency is your the high energy motion is your higher frequency. It deals with your heart chakra. Your higher self, which is surrounded, with truth, vision, wisdom, your experience, okay? Happiness, and of course, we all should know, love. So, when your energy rises, is in motion, it's either going to be in motion in your higher frequency or it's going to be in motion in your lower frequency of yourself, which is also connected to the Kundalini energy. That's the temperature, the thermometer of your energy. You're either going to rise or you're going to be low. Okay? So, it's a spiritual thing. It can be physical if you don't know how to, if you don't know how to detect the bullshit in the illusion. Okay? That causes, like, for instance, waking up, and a lot of people who don't connect with themselves or not even walking in their higher self as their higher self, they get caught up in these loops in the which is the media. Okay? Today, for instance, all I see is bullshit about Trump having COVID. Him and his wife. If you can't see the truth behind that shit, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you no more. And actually, to be honest, it's not even my place to tell you. Because you wrote that shit to be in that predicament. Okay? Okay? So people emotions get high, which they rising above it, like me. I don't care. I'm still drinking my wine, smoking the ale, living my life. No worries. Working on self. Elevating. I don't give a fuck about that bullshit when I know what the bullshit is. Okay? But then you have these... Oh. Bless them, y'all. These motherfuckers who all in their feelings about a fake-ass politician, vote, presidential debate that we already... Well, if most people had that curriculum in school about, the laws and about the courthouses and the part of the presidential and stuff like that. I learned this in college. It was a reason for me to stay paying attention to that part. Because some shit I just didn't give a damn about. I just did it and passed it, okay? And I can't even remember what the fuck it is. But for this reason, this part right here was very intrigued for me to know. Because I was also at the time when I learned this, I was still figuring shit out with myself. So I was still studying a lot of shit too. But we all should know that this is all a part of the show. It's a part of one of the damn TV series in the illusion. They just playing their part. But we got a lot of our people in their goddamn feelings about something that's going to already be. Already be what it's going to be what it is. We already know who going to win. Hell, they do already anyway. They just going along with the script. Okay? Just batshit crazy out here. They don't know what to do. But it's alright. You do what you got to do. And let them do what the hell they need to do. Just follow yourself. Stay in your part. Because if it was time for you to rise and you wrote yourself to rise, then there's no need to be dwelling on these motherfuckers who wrote not to go nowhere. To stay a part of the illusion. To be a part of the illusion. Which is also a distraction to you. Because we'll get in our emotions because they in their emotions. Fuck that. Can't allow that to happen. Now I'm gonna touch on this. I'll probably get out of here. I mean, I got a couple things I could talk about, but I said I wasn't gonna go all night. I told my sis I got so many downloads. I'm gonna have to break it down in two. But I'm gonna go with this and then I'm done, okay? Now, I know we've been talking a lot about self-love. I don't know if a lot of people really are in tune with understanding what self-love is. It ain't just you loving yourself. You know? It's not just you loving yourself and being in isolation and, you know, it's more to it, so to say. It's more to it. So, I'm going to give it to you. Self-love is what's going to bring peace, as we know. That's the heart. Light as a feather. You're going to be rising above any situations. That's what self-love really is about. But it doesn't just include you, like I say, loving on yourself. Or just healing. That means you don't have no baggage. Because, you know, that's part of the healing process. You're going to have to throw the baggage out. Okay? You can't have no hate. Who are we to judge anyone's journey when we all wrote out our own journeys for a reason? So you can't judge any book by, well, not book, but any chapter of someone's journey by just the picture of it. You have to be able to understand that, okay, this person wrote this out for a reason, and it's some reason why they're going through it. But sometimes, like I said, we'll allow ourselves to stay stuck on one page. We keep reading the same goddamn paragraph over and over. It ain't gonna change. But when you see them, you know, you just gonna have to let them do their thing. It's alright sometimes to plant a seed. But eventually when they're ready to grow, they'll grow. And they'll probably come right back to you to grow some more. So you can't really just be out here being in tune with yourself and being hateful. Now, we can get hateful. But we can't really be mad or upset about anything when it's all about balancing your energy within yourself. To always be able to step into, you know, love. Sometimes we get out of pocket, but in the end result, it should be you reconciling with yourself and seeing it for what it really is. To rise above it. To continue to walk in love. Okay? Even though they might get on my damn nerves about these politics, I just laugh though, because I'm just like, you know, whew. Well, this is one hell of a goddamn movie. Okay? But I just know everything is lined up for a reason. Now, also, self-love is when you're able to accept everything pretty much all for yourself. You don't get the karma. You know, and what I mean by the karma, I mean, like, you won't have the same lesson continuously. You'll do right and let it go. And when I mean, like, no karma, just like I was saying, you allowing yourself to stay in that frequency. So you're going to keep going through the same shit. Just different ways of it. Might be different beings, different settings. You know, even a different season. But you are putting yourself in that karma. That's the loop. It's going to come right back. You going to elevate this time? Or we going to go back through the same karmatic loop? Okay? And when we say, because I've said too, in the past, and right now I see a deeper vision of it when we say, what you do can go back to your children or the other beings. But not like that physically. But what I'm seeing now is you are causing those beings that come through you to go through that same karmatic loop. Because you're not breaking it. You're not releasing it. You're not letting it go. So they only following the mother goddess or the father or you as a light being to get where they need to go. And if you can't move forward, they won't move forward. They will continuously go in the same loop that you're in. That's dragging your children or the little guys and goddesses through the same karmatic loop that you started that you created because you don't want to let go and move forward. And a lot of people be stuck in that because they're comfortable in those situations. So the beings that come through, they go through the same shit. So when they get up of age or in this physical, their children go through this shit. But then again, they might break it at some point and see it for what it is. And they'll rise above it. That's, the children of the parents actually becoming better parents than they were. Because they're breaking the chains that they was dragged into. Okay? You can't keep allowing yourself to be a victim of this matrix. Love you for who you are. And understand that you grow through anything, whether even if it's pain. Tragic. Other beings transitioning. You just can't allow yourself to be victimized in this experience. You can't. Well, no bondage we know is the same thing as no baggage. You can't keep trying to take everything, and gain your power. You ain't gonna be able to gain your power that way. Which is elevating to your higher self. Because you got too much shit onto you. That's not allowing you to spread your wings and fly. Hold up, y'all. So when you are working through self-love, it's many levels to that. And when you're actually able to somewhat master all of that, you begin to have balance, clarity within your heart, and you begin to gain your power of self, of who you truly are. You become on the chessboard as a player instead of the what you call it, I can't think of the I can't think of it, but you become the player instead of the pieces on the chessboard. Put it like that. That's what I want to say. right? You become the inner voice. You got to stay listening to yourself. Build a relationship with yourself. That way you know if self is giving you what you need, or sometimes self will play some goddamn tricks. Because you want to be petty, your higher self can be petty. The great elders can be petty. Just give you a pop quiz out of nowhere. Right, puns in the checker game. Not checker game, but the chess game. I'm sorry, y'all. You got to be the player. You got to become the player. That's really true self-love, because you're not allowing yourself to be played on or played upon. You're not allowing the illusion, the experience, to keep you bondage to it. You have came out of the game and and became your player, your higher self.
What are you doing, Mommy? Mom, what are you doing?
A lot, baby. Shut my door. So yeah, the great elders wanted me to get it out because I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding of it. They think it's just, you loving on yourself. It's all right to love on yourself now. Go get yourself done up, get a massage. Yeah, enjoy the perks of the experience. Go ahead and enjoy the perks. It is healing, but it's so many levels to healing to come to truly get your self-love. Everything has to come a full circle. The symbols of the chakras are circles. So everything has to come full circle within yourself. Those are your powers. Because you are controlling your energy. And you are walking as your higher self. Hold up, I'm looking for something. Hey, now I gotta download about the universe. I'm gonna talk about just the basics on it. And I might be able to hit it off. But I'm just gonna talk about the basics on it. Because this one is pretty much a whole nother live. But I just want to break down the word universe. I know if I broke it down before, but like I've said, there's so many levels to this. And some things, well, all things you experience at a higher level when you elevate. So, even when you get downloads of words or downloads of the same vision, you clearly, you can see it more clearer. So each elevation, you elevate into a higher perspective of things that you've went through. Because it's the same script. You're just going to see it in a higher perspective. So I got the word universe again. I can't even remember what it was the first time that I got from it. And of course we know that you, it symbolizes you. You. Me. You is also singular for one. One. One you. Oneness. I am you, you are me. One big ass reflection. Nye is if you look it up, it says transition metal, which is an element. And we know elements all pertain to who we are spiritually. I might have to do a video about the elements. Because everything runs deep within us. But Nye is basically a transition. Okay? So we already at you. Or one. Transition. And verse is an experience. It's what you write down. You know, I write down verses all the time when I want to rap, you know. When I used to rap, I had all kind of verses. Same thing when you come into this experience. It also is, you know, it's right, so it's us. So you okay, I might be lagging, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video about the elements. You transition and experiences. So when it's meaning, you know, you transition in experiences, every time you elevate, you transition in this physical. Not going, you know, leaving the physical. You transition, you elevate. Everything transitions within you. It's like you being rebirth. Every time you elevate, you transition to something higher within yourself. And it shows. Like, you know, for an example. I used to, when I first got out of high school, I went to, you know, college. Okay. I did some community college. So, you know, in a physical, that would represent something doing something good or positive within yourself. Okay? So from college, I started wilding out, you know, skipping classes. I started going into my lower energy. I started off in my highest because that was a new transition from high school. Okay? So now I'm walking into something different, a different energy. Okay? So from in me doing community college, I was wilding out. I wasn't really going to class. I started off good, but I started being rebellious. Like, I started hanging in the streets a lot more. Even though I hung in the streets, I still was able to stay in my higher self, to do things that was in my family that no one has ever done. Okay? So that was my whole motivation. So, I was, you know, not going to school. So I was being, you know, had a car, so I was just out. I was out. Clubbing, of course I had a club for a long time, but clubbing and just here and there. Wasn't really at school, especially on the weekends. I was gone. But see, physically that would be, you know, me throwing off my game. But see, knowing that everything is based off energy, even the parts in your script that you wrote out is a high and low. So the high for me was going to school, to college. Even though I know it's some bullshit now. But back then, that was a high for me. Anything that's going to take you basically to your higher self. Especially when you feel the energy when you know you're doing something good. Or you transitioning something within yourself. You want better. And I started in the fall when I went to school. So I was already conceiving an idea of what I wanted to do. It's all energy. So from there, I wasn't, like I said, wasn't doing what I was doing. So I just stopped going to college. I was already hanging in the streets even more. I started selling. Started selling and doing everything that was not really focusing on me. Okay? I wasn't putting the energy within me. I was putting it into the streets. Shit that's a part of the illusion that's going to keep me bound and keep me stuck. So from that, I went through that for a couple of years. Shit, it was a couple of years. I went to jail and all that shit. That was a big ass lesson. Here's the kicker though. Because once I went through all that shit, I was tired of going to jail. Fuck that. No. I was tired of seeing people around me go to jail. So, I went back to my mom's house to regroup. And that was in the fall too. Going in hibernation, isolation. And during that time, I had a major experience to go through. That was going to make me, that was going to awaken me to some shit deep within myself. So, while I was staying with my mom, regrouping, trying to get my shit together, I started rapping. I started writing all that bad energy and all that shit that I was around. In the streets selling and all that shit. I started writing all that shit on the paper. I started writing it down, getting it out. Speaking it out, rapping it. Even though it wasn't good energy, it was cleansing. I was cleansing myself from all this bullshit that I went through. Giving people a vision of the stories of shit I've done through my music. So I did music for a long time. So that was a transition that had in my life. From college, from high school to college, that was a transition. Getting ready for the world. From college to going down this, it was a struggle. I went down a road. I continuously to stay in the wrong part of the road. I wasn't in my right lane. I was in the bullshit. Finna have a crash course going down. If I didn't open my damn eyes and get back on the right side of the road. So, transitioning from that and being in the street selling and all of that to rap, that's another transition. That's elevation. And in the time of me doing my music and finally getting to a deeper, hold on, let me go back. When I was staying with my mom, of course, that transition of being self-isolation and regrouping. In that process, I had another testimony that I had to go through, which is one of the problems I've always had since, one of the biggest problems I had, and probably in previous, well, I'm pretty sure in previous other times of my life, past lives. So that's why I had to recognize it this time. Because that was one of the parts, or one of the things of the energy that was going to keep me binded. So when I stayed there, my mom, my sister ended up transitioning. That was a real stressful time for me. It was a real stressful time. But over the years, I realized, and the more beings I gradually connected to help me elevate and understand what was happening around me, and showing me that we're not supposed to mourn, which is supposed to be a celebration, because of course all the wasted energy of that, I was shown that we're supposed to be pretty much in pain, even though they tell you that this being right here is not suffering, which is a fact in a funeral, but we sitting there suffering. So why should we suffer? So I had to understand that she's not suffering, she's here with me. So that was one of the elevations within myself, is understanding the transition of things, because in past lives I couldn't understand that. So that was one of the things that I caught this time in this journey. So I'm able to deal with transition on a different level. Sometimes I still feel, like shocked. I might cry. But I have to, because I have to cleanse that energy. I can't keep that balled up in me. It's going to become baggage, and it's going to keep me binded. So that's a transition. That was a part of the transition that I had to experience. That was an experience that I had to experience in the transition that I was going through at that point in time. So once I was once I was able to let go, I started connecting with myself even more. I started seeing visions, and actually being able to understand that I knew, oh, this is I've always been spiritual in some kind of, hidden light way, even though I had people around me who was asleep. So that energy was keeping me binded. But I've always been able to have a vision or hear things, or hear the great elder, I say. So when I was able to start, my vision became clearer, and I was able to see a lot of things. I was able to hear the great elders, because I've been dealing with these since as a child. I've had that power. We all do. But I was connected to it still a little bit, which was the little girl in me, which was the pure energy within me. So when shit switched for me, it was like I never disconnected. Everything started coming back, slowly but surely. I start walking in the script that I was supposed to be walking in. I wasn't allowing myself to be stuck. Okay? So that's the transition that I'm talking about in this experience. It's elevation as well. It's the same thing. Because when you leave out this motherfucker, you're supposed to elevate, which you do elevate to your higher self. Some people just don't know who the fuck they are. They still got amnesia. So yeah, we supposed to be We supposed to be, shifting in our experiences. Yes. I mean, isn't it that the biggest muscle physically is the heart, right? Right. Right. It's this is the biggest muscle within the physical, which means it's the most powerful thing within you spiritually because it represents who you are, your heart, your light, your elevation, the balance, the all, the oneness, everything. So yes, universe is you, the oneness of the plane, you as a being, of the all, transitioning here in your experience, not here just physically, but spiritually within yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Just think about that. Anytime you want to question yourself, right, bro, that's the physical heart. We have a spiritual one. That's who you are. The body, if everything here, we know everything here is a reflection of you, that heart physically is a reflection of who you truly are. It's a symbolism of who you are. It's the balances of the energy within you. But yeah, I'm going to leave y'all with that. Anytime you want to question yourself or your journey, just think about what you're supposed to be doing. And continue to, when you feel where the energy is trying to pull you forward, let go of holding you back and transition. Let it go. Elevate. Because only you can transition into your experience within your higher self. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. But next week, I'm gonna talk about some more of this because I have a lot to go with that. And like I said, that's a whole nother video, so we're gonna get deep into that too. Because once I'll be able to understand that this is just who we are as the all, which is the energy surrounded around everything, including self, then you allow your higher self to guide you. Your higher self, you, your energy, to continue to transition above this experience. Alright? Love y'all. You welcome, Liz. Love y'all. And I will chat with y'all next week. We might have metamorphosis. What is it? Metamorphosis. Oh yeah, we're gonna do a part 2 of this right here. Metamorphosis Monday, we might, because we dealing with some other things that we're watching, and we want to break it down, okay? Unless something new come out that we gonna have to tap into. But love, peace, and oneness with the all. And I'll talk to y'all later.